Hey there, Jeremy here again, and tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to install VMware Workstation Player on an Ubuntu system. Now, yes, normally I use VirtualBox for everything, but given the popularity of the video where I converted from a VirtualBox VM to a Proxmox VM, I thought I would start down the road of doing the same thing with a VMware product. And since VMware Player is free, that is what we're going to use. So I'm going to jump on over to my Linux box and we're going to take a look at the process. All right, so I've already downloaded the VMware Workstation Player install bundle, and I've put that in my downloads file. Keep in mind, you do have to have an account with VMware in order to download their products. So in this case, I logged in with my account and I was able to navigate to the latest version of VMware Player, and I've downloaded it. And so we ended up with this VMware Player 16.1.1 64-bit bundle. So I've already downloaded the VMware Player, and we had to do a chmod plus X for the VMware Player in order to get it to show up in green like it does, which means that it is executable. And if we look at the permissions, it does have execute permissions. Okay, so we want to say sudo sh /VMware enter our password. And with a little luck, we might end up with something that we can use. And this will take a minute or three to install, but we will get through this and see what we've got to work with. All right. So let's come to our menu and see if we've got a launcher or VMware Workstation, and we do. So we're going to add that to our favorites. And then we can come right over here and go ahead and launch that. And of course, you've got to agree to their licensing terms. This is for demo purposes, and so I will likely uninstall this. And sure, we'll check for updates. Don't want to join their program. Use VMware Player 16 for free for non-commercial use. Enter our password again. All right, thank you for using VMware Player. Let's minimize our terminal. And so this is going to be very similar to VirtualBox, although it is somewhat more limited on some of the things you can do with it. So we will start the process of creating a new virtual machine. And actually, first I want to see what ISO images, if any, we have available. And we do have a Debian ISO image available. That's fine. We are going to use an ISO image. We'll browse, downloads, use the Debian, next. And it correctly detects Debian 10, 64-bit. Next. And it tells us the location where it's going to save the files. Next. Maximum disk size. It says 20 gigs, which will go with the default. And we'll keep the virtual disk as a single file. And this is just reviewing. Going to give it 2 gigs of RAM. We'll say finish and close. All right. The following devices can be connected to this virtual machine using... Okay. It's fine. Following is available for downloads. VMware tools for Linux. Download and install. Okay, so we've got our installer for Debian. And we'll kick this off. Now, I'm not going to make everybody sit through this whole process, but this is far enough to show that this does in fact work. And I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back on the other side and we'll take a look at what we've got. All right, so we've finished our install of VMware Workstation Player and our Debian VM. And so if we go ahead and click on that, we can power it on. And with a little luck, it will boot up just fine. And this should take us to our Debian desktop with LXQT. All right, that will bring us to the end of this video. I just wanted to come back in this end piece and show that we did in fact get it to install. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Let me switch back to this one. And we'll go ahead and shut this down. And I'll give you a little preview of what's to come. And so in our home directory, we've got VMware right here. We've got Debian 10, 64-bit. And right here, we've got our VMDK file. So in the next video in this series, we're going to take that VMDK file, we'll copy it over to the Proxmox server. We will do the conversion to a QCOW2 compressed file, and we will import this into a new VM on Proxmox VE. But since it's an existing install, we're not going to have to go through that whole process again. So stay tuned for the next video in this series. We will get that moving, and that should be a pretty easy procedure, and it's pretty much identical to what we did in the VirtualBox to Proxmox video. So on that note, thank you all for watching. If you haven't done so already, please take a moment, leave comments, like, and subscribe. If you have feedback for me, I would love to hear it. Stay safe out there. Happy computing and have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.